the most beautiful part of Çanakkale. Most interesting place here is this horse. In this part of our trip around western Turkey, we start from Çanakkale, and we are going to visit the ancient Troy and the area around it. Yesterday we have arrived in Çanakkale very late, and we have found a very nice Airbnb. This apartment has 2 rooms, have a kitchen. This is very good for its price, about $25 for one night. Yeah, actually the place is very comfortable and very cute. As you can see, it has a very small balcony, and you can see the yards around us. It's very green, very nice houses around. Now today we are going to see the most important symbols of Çanakkale and the region. This is the Troy. It's very famous with the Trojan War and the wood horse. So we will see all these places. Also some other ancient cities related with the Bible. And then finally we will arrive to the seaside to find a nice beach where we can sleep tonight. Çanakkale is a nice middle-sized Turkish city located at the Asian coast of the Strait of Dardanelles. This is its most beautiful part, where we can see its famous landmark, the Trojan horse. So we just stopped the car and now take a short walk at the sea coast. This is the port of Çanakkale. From here, when we back from our trip, from here we will take the ferry that you can see, this vessel, ferry to the city of Aegean Sea. In front of us, over there, behind the sea, is Europe, and here we are in Asia, Çanakkale. We are in the most beautiful part of Çanakkale. This is the Seaside alley, Seaside Park, and of course the most interesting place here is this horse, the symbol of Troy. If you have watched the movie of Troy from 2004 with Brad Pitt, probably this horse should look familiar to you. And yes, this is the Trojan horse used in the movie. As we know, according to the stories of Homer, a wooden horse with hidden Greek soldiers was used as a gift to the king of Troy. When the horse entered the city, the soldiers came out, opened the gate for the Greek army, and Troy was conquered and destroyed.
What is this? An offering to Poseidon? The Greeks are praying for a safe return home.
I hope the sea god spits in their offering. Lets them all drown at the bottom of the sea.
This is a gift. We should take it to the temple of Poseidon.
Çanakkale, we can see a model of the ancient Troy that we are going to see. The most important site near the city. The most important event that makes Troy famous, it's the Trojan War that happened around 1200 years before Christ. Until today, the scholars can't confirm whether the story of the Trojan War and the horse is real or not, but it has still remained as a symbol of Çanakkale and the area. There are many symbols of Troy in the coastal area of Çanakkale, but we have to go to see the ruins of the real Troy. It is located 31 kilometers southeast of Çanakkale. First, we travel on the main road to Izmir, and then we turn right on a side road that leads us straight to the entrance of the ancient city. This is how the ancient city of Troy looked like. As you can see, there are different colors that mark the different historical layers of the city, and for better exploring they have made a route that we can follow from 1 to 26. And this is the most right model of the Trojan horse that was being used in the Trojan War. As you can see, this horse is like a ship, so the people can enter inside. Troy has 9 discovered historical layers. The oldest one dates from around 3000 to 2500 BC, and the latest one reveals how the city looked like until medieval times. The gaps between the layers are signs of destruction, usually caused by wars or natural disasters, or the city was just abandoned by its inhabitants for unknown reasons. So, what scientists have discovered is that the ancient Troy actually dates from about 3000 years before Christ, and this is the first layer over there, you can see. This is the oldest remains from Troy. And then about 500 years later, means about 2500 years before Christ, Troy was destroyed by some event. Nobody knows what caused the destruction, but Troy proceeded to be occupied by people, and here is the second layer. They repaired the city and built the second layer of Troy. As you can see, the second layer is a little more better arranged. Now we see remains from the second and the third layer of Troy, approximately between 2000 years before Christ. As you can see, these constructions are made mainly by bricks, not by stones. Here you can see the different levels that have been discovered. Level 3, level 4, and level 6 in the bottom, the level from the Trojan War. Here we see another construction from the layer 2. This is called the ramp, and as the scientists consider, it is something like a road guiding to the palace of the king. Here we see more ruins, most of them from the next historical layers, from layers 3rd to 6th. After the Trojan War, Troy was abandoned for a long time, but later gradually restored, and we can see the remains of the next layers. Here we see the remains of the Hellenistic and Roman times. This is a small ancient theater that is typical for that era. The ancient Troy, called also Ilion and Vilusa, existed until around 13th century AD. Then the wars between Byzantines, Crusaders and the Turks and the destructions caused by them forced people to abandon the city. Only ruins remained until today. We back to the entrance and drive back on the same road. Less than a kilometer from the ancient city is the Museum of Troy, with a rich exposition of various artifacts related to the history of Troy and the region. The whole region is called Troat, and besides Troy, there are more than 10 other ancient cities. One of them is of particular interest, so we go to visit it. This is Alexandria Troy, located 35 kilometers south of Troy. You can see the name of Saint Paul. Paul the Apostle visited this place around 56 AD. So this city is one of the biblical cities in Turkey. The site of Alexandria Troy is much smaller than Troy and the entrance is free. Now we are in Alexandria Troy, or the biblical town Troy. What exactly happened here? The Bible tells us that Paul the Apostle visited the city on his way from Greece to Jerusalem, along the western coast of Minor Asia. At that time, there was a church of believers in Jesus here. So Paul was in a meeting with the local Christians. The meeting was in one of these remains of houses, at that time 3 floors tall, and they were gathered on the 3rd floor. The meeting was long until late at night. There was a boy called Eutychus sitting at the window. The boy fell asleep and suddenly fell down from the 3rd floor and died. Then Paul went down and raised him from the dead. It was another miracle that marked this meeting. After that, Paul proceeded its way to his next stop, the city of Assos. After Alexandria Troy, we proceed on our route southward. Now we skip Assos, but we are going to visit it on our way back. Instead, we drive straight to the southern coast of Biga Peninsula. On the way, we can see more ancient ruins around the road, remained for thousands of years. We are already at the sea coast. There are a lot of campsites, small resorts, hotels and restaurants along the road. Although the beaches are very small, narrow and stony, the views are beautiful. We are looking for a good campsite to spend the night before we proceed further on the next day. So follow us in this trip and subscribe to our channel Journey Beyond the Horizon for more video journeys.